Hierarchy, Sacred Origin and Sacred Rule, 14th Sunday of Ordinary Time, Year C. Today's Gospel passage describes Jesus appointing 72 disciples to evangelize two by two every town and place Jesus intended to visit. As pointed out by Brant Petrie, the number 72, or in some translations 70, is symbolically important. We encounter this number in the book of Moses appoints 70 elders to share in leading and governing the 12 tribes. God then bestows the gift of prophecy on the 70 elders Moses had appointed, and God gives the gift of prophecy to two other elders, Medad and Eldad, who were not appointed by Moses but were chosen by God. This, suggests Petrie, may explain why some ancient manuscripts state of where our biblical translations are based on, these ancient manuscripts, state that Jesus appointed 70 disciples, and others state he appointed 72 disciples, since both numbers are a reference to Moses' 70 or 72 priest helpers, depending on how you count them. Another important appearance of the number 70 is in Genesis 11, adds Petrie, which lists 70 nations in the world. Here, the number 70 represents all the nations of the world. In continuity with this symbolism, the Greek translation of the Old Testament, translated around 250 years before the birth of Christ, is called the Septuagint, which literally means in Greek 70, since it was, according to tradition, translated by 70 elders from Hebrew into Greek, so that all nations of the world could ponder the Word of God. Like Moses, who is at the service of the 12 tribes of Israel, Jesus is surrounded by 12 apostles. Like Moses, who appointed 70 disciples to help him govern the 12 tribes, Jesus appoints 70 disciples who are at the service of all. As interpreted by the Old Testament, in which the number 70 is a reference to all nations, Genesis 11, the number 70 in today's Gospel passage indicates that the 70 disciples are to be at the service of all nations. They are to spread the good news of Jesus Christ truly risen from the dead, who has come for all people. The 70 also are to coordinate their ministry with each other by traveling in twos and to coordinate their ministry with the 12 apostles. The 70, the 12 are all ordered to the one who is Jesus Christ. Their governing, their ruling, only has meaning by its origin, by its beginning, who is Jesus Christ. And this precisely is what the word hierarchy meant to the early Christians. As Benedict XVI explains, the word hierarchy comes from two Greek words, hier, meaning sacred, and arche, which means either rule or origin, or literally means both sacred rule and sacred origin. The most important definition of this word that we use often, however, is sacred origin, because sacred rule by priests is meaningless if the sacred origin, if the sacred beginning of this rule is forgotten, and the sacred origin and the sacred beginning is Jesus Christ of our church hierarchy. If and when we are invited to participate definitively in heaven, there we will experience a hierarchy, a sacred origin of the church, where there will no longer be the sacramental hierarchy that we now associate hierarchy with, ruled by pope, bishops, and priests. Instead, we will behold God directly in the beatific vision in communion with the angels and the saints. God bless.